2D, 4D astral body split. Due to the DNA damage our species suffered after the fall of Tara, the fourth dimensional astral body that made up our heart center was fractured, and the lower portion of the soul matrix astral layer became inverted upon itself and became lodged in our 2D sacral center. Thus, a portion of our original soul matrix fragmented and got stuck in the second dimensional layers of the planetary body and within our own individual layers. When incarnating upon the earth plane, this distortion to our soul and heart center became a genetic block which further digressed angelic human DNA. Over time, these became generational distortions which manifested into the disconnection between the 2D elemental field of the physical body, the 1D unconscious mind, and both the lower and higher part of the astral identity that form into the soul matrix. Essentially, what this means is that when incarnating in a physical body on the earth, it was hard for the conscious mind of the personality to actually feel the experience of the soul while in a body, and this had the tendency to disconnect the functions of the heart center. These schisms in the light body layers also greatly contributed to the production of shadow selves, shadow personality alters, shadow elementals, and fragments in the soul matrix, which further proliferated personal miasma and planetary miasma. When the astral layers were split into 2D aspects and 4D aspects, this generated a dual identity, and this was how the first shadow self and its unconscious aspects in the pain body were generated. The second dimensional schism split the instinctual body layers into separate functions, a collection of fragmented subpersonalities that were generated from soul memories and a repository of personal emotional energies and the collective forces of chaos lodged in the planetary second dimensional layers. The fourth dimensional schism placed a barrier in the nadial capsule that separates the astral body and the heart chakra from merging with the third dimensional solar plexus layers of the mental body. This distortion subjects the individual to lower astral energies and lower astral traveling, especially when first awakening and undergoing the first layer of heart awakening in spiritual ascension. This lower astral distortion tends to be exploited with anti-herogamic targeting technologies for inserting alien love bite scenarios where an individual feels inappropriately bonded to another individual at the sexual second dimensional level or at the heart level in the fourth dimensional level, which is very confusing and emotionally disturbing. To begin to heal from alien love bite and anti-herogamic technology targeting, this section of the astral layers and soul matrix must undergo emotional healing, which will release the inorganic bindings. Further, this distortion also blocks the lower first dimensional, second dimensional, and third dimensional layers in the physical body from opening natural communications with the elemental and natural kingdoms, making it very hard for the person to feel their body consciousness, sensory ability, or have an easy and natural communication with nature or the elemental kingdom. Because most of us were not aware of this distortion existing in our astral layers, the negative alien agenda forces have used many tricks to continually confuse us through the use of alien implants and by attaching negative form shadow bodies through alien love bite or other dark manipulations. The negative form is a series of artificial dead light or AI projected shadow bodies that are used to recreate negative timelines or to steal our genetic material and consciousness energy through the many methods of dark astral manipulation. The damage from the 2D, 4D schism generated a weakness in our light body for the negative alien agenda to exploit. hijacking unintegrated shadow aspects or soul memories, and then attaching false memories, false identities, or clones through which our consciousness could be manipulated or misled. That is why this unhealed light body damage is commonly exploited for alien love bite situations, as many people can be easily manipulated in their emotional layers to play out unhealthy behaviors in the twin flame New Age mindset. The negative form is a duplicate shadow self that is attached to the soul layers like nesting dolls that are made in our genetic image. Sometimes they connect these images to other people that they are attempting to confuse and derail in their ascension progress. These are designed to spin out interference, artificial realities, and alien love bite scenarios where the negative alien agenda attempts to fully control the future timeline of that person by derailing them or placing superimposed miasmatic interference in their field for the purpose of ongoing technological sabotage of that awakening person. When we incarnated on the earth, we had to accept the miasmatic package that is attached to the world soul, which included collective human race shadow bodies and the 2D, 4D split. This heavy miasmatic burden with the collective shadow bodies made us susceptible to the manipulation of our hidden shadow aspects through mind control, and this has been heavily leveraged by the invading entities of the negative alien agenda. The uncleared and unintegrated aspects of the individual and collective shadow selves are used to generate clones of the planetary inhabitants through the process of using soul capture technology and manipulating artificial timelines. The issue was if the masses did not know how to clear or integrate their soul aspects, clear emotional conflicts, and open their heart center, the shadow part of the soul split generated into negative forms. These negative forms could be used like a homing beacon in which to capture souls upon death of the physical body. This is radically changing during the ascension cycle, but it is important to understand how much the uncleared negative emotions and unintegrated shadow aspects can be used as a consciousness weapon against humanity in order to manipulate and steal their higher consciousness away from them. From these unintegrated layers of the collective human shadow selves, the negative alien agenda generated complex infrastructures and demonic hierarchies to serve the purpose of maintaining their phantom matrix reality. This structure became known as the Qliphoth, the negative form shell, and reversal current, which holds the collective shadow body of the hierarchies of the Antichrist and its imposter spirit forces. These are dead light forces that are made from the unhealed human shadow selves and their emotional pain, which holds the structure of the entire phantom matrix together. On the path of ascension, our goal is to face the inner shadow selves and the demonic forces in which it associates, and then to intentionally purify our body and consciousness so we can eradicate the shadow selves from exerting any control over us. This is why we must not fear these lower spiritual forces of the shadow aspects, but we must be clear enough to not give our power to them either, as they are master manipulators, tricksters, and deceivers. However, there are dark avatar collectives that wield power and control over the lower spiritual hierarchies in every dimensional layer that are used to harass many spiritually developing and awakening people, and these exist at another advanced level of anti-Christos architecture. These are massive AI assimilated black dragons, the primordial enemies of the Christos founder races, and they hold extreme hatred for God's creation and humankind. These dark avatars came into our universe when it was damaged during the fall of Lyra. These are the fallen black hole entities that came from another system entirely, the Wiesa system.